What's up, and welcome back to Rumor Has It Official. Let's get straight into talking about 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days. This is an early premiere, part 1 of season 4, episode 7, and the title of this episode is Who's Crying Now? Let's start off with Lisa and Usman. So Lisa and Usman have a ride to Usman's hometown so Lisa can finally meet his mother and hopefully receive this blessing. Let's talk about how Usman took off with his friend and left Lisa high and dry at the hotel by herself. Now, she says during this time of him going MIA that he hasn't been responding to her text messages, adding she feels very alone. After explaining how her night was going, 20 minutes later, they show us that Usman walks through the door. Lisa tells him that they need to talk, following up with he told her that he would never leave her alone, but here she is alone in the hotel room. How I see it is Lisa better be glad that he actually came back. Lisa tells Usman that she thought that he was only going to walk his friend to his car and say his goodbyes. But when she stepped outside and he wasn't in sight, she was terrified. Usman wasn't trying to hear it, okay? He tells Lisa that she knew where he was going and that he told her. He then gets elevated and frustrated, to which Lisa tells him to check his tone. Usman tells her it's not good for him to be saying sorry to her morning, afternoon, and night, adding she is not a god. Now, I love the fact that he sticks up for himself, I have to say. Now, Michael could take a few notes from out of his book when dealing with Angela. So moving on, Usman tells Lisa, how is it possible that he's always having to apologize? He can't always be in the wrong. And Usman tells the camera crew, to him, Lisa just simply wants to control his life. Now, they do many flashbacks where Lisa is either complaining or telling him what to do. And Usman tells Lisa that he'd rather live in prison than continue having problems with her every day. He then gives her an ultimatum and tells her this isn't how he wants to live his life, adding, if this is how she is going to continue to be, he'd rather let her go her own way and he go his. Now, this is the first time we get to see Lisa speechless. Baby girl Lisa was straight mute. Usman then steps outside to talk with the camera crew and says, the truth is, he's been complying with Lisa and he thinks right now he's had enough. He goes on to say that he can't take this anymore, and if this is how they're going to continue, then they don't need to get married. Lisa, on the other hand, is still not seeing that she's too controlling or using this time to really self-reflect on her actions. Instead, she says, the man that just left out of the hotel is not the man she fell in love with. Comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Let's move on to Big Ed and Rose Marie. So it's been 3 days since Ed has been in the Philippines, and since then, they've already had a major argument, to which Ed says that he almost lost Rose. Now, in the next scene, Ed and Rose make it back to the hotel, and after they talked at the cafe, he invited her back to the hotel and she accepted. So Ed says that he feels so grateful to have been given a second chance, and adds that he feels more comfortable because Rose opened up to him about her past. So moving on, in the hotel, Ed tells Rose that he's so happy that she's back in the same room with him and that he just wants to treat her like the queen she is. Now, he then instructs her to take a bath and put on a hotel robe and slippers. So Rose gets her PJs and Ed walks her over to the bathroom like he's a single father getting his little daughter ready for a bubble bath. Like, she doesn't need instructions on how to get to the restroom. It's pretty obvious she knows where the bathroom is at. Then once she gets into the bathroom, he does this weird happy dance, or was it a karate chop? I don't know, but it was scary. I don't know what the world was going on, but this dude is a hot mess. So he's got massage oil laid out and then proceeds to order the hotel's finest champagne. It's safe to say that he's hoping that this night he'll share a first kiss with Rose, or may possibly be open to something more. Now, he claims he wants to take things slow, but him trying to set the mood suggests otherwise to me. Comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Now, he wants Rose to get all fresh and clean while he hasn't even showered. He doesn't allow her to come out once she's done. He's knocking on the bathroom door talking about Rose. Then he proceeds to tell her to have a seat and gives her a glass of champagne. The whole time I'm looking at Rose, and the look on her face is hilarious because you can tell that she's really trying to figure out what he's up to, like where he's going with this. And her eyes are bugged. This dude tells her to take off her robe, and I'm like, okay, Ed, you really tried it. He really tried to talk about, give me your champagne glass, take off your robe. So Rose just touches the robe and says, it's okay. You know, she's basically like, I ain't trying to do all that. Because she mentioned as well that she's trying to take things slow. She's not ready for that level of intimacy with Ed. So Ed's nasty behind is like, oh my God. Because he thought that she was really going to pull off her robe. And he then starts massaging her feet and making comments like, I'm staring at your feet and not your pajamas. Like, this whole scene was just so weird. And the way he was looking at her as he was massaging her legs, cringy, creepy. Cringy and creepy. Now, how would you all describe that scene? Comment down below. So Ed doesn't stop there. He then says, can he kiss her? And Rose is like, on my cheek, and she points to her cheek, and Ed is like, the other kind. And y'all, when Rose points to her forehead, Ed is like the middle. So her face is turned up, and she agrees that he can kiss her on the forehead. He then tells her to lean in and kisses her on her forehead, and then says, what about on the lips? Rose hesitates for a minute and then says, sure. Now, after he kisses her, he's like, oh my God, that was nice. It's just really weird and creepy. He says kissing Rose for the first time, it felt like heaven. And he doesn't know what to expect tonight, but he's dreamt about this for 3 months. He adds that he wants her to feel his love. He wants to hold her and do things people in love do. Comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Let's move on to Geoffrey and Varya. So it's been a week since Geoffrey has been in Russia, and she's taking him to meet her family in Siberia. They pack up and take a red-eye flight to Siberia. Now, once they arrive, Varia wants to know what Geoffrey's bringing her mom. Like, is he going to bring her a present, a gift? And he responds, a hug and his love. She tells him that she can't believe he didn't bring anything, not even flowers. Geoffrey then tells the driver to stop at the side of the road. This wacko walks up an open field and picks some random wild flowers in that field. Varia says that she doesn't know if her mom will like Geoffrey, but she can't marry a man that her family doesn't like. I think her mom doesn't like the fact that if things possibly work with him and her daughter goes to America, that distance won't allow her to be able to see her daughter as often as she would like. Comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Let's move on to Darcy. So let me just say, this is the moment some of us have been waiting for. Tom says that he didn't sleep well the night before and that he's anxious, adding he has romantic feelings for Darcy, but they have issues and problems that they need to work out. He's hoping that she'll be able to attack the problems they have instead of him. But he does acknowledge that he too hasn't been perfect in all of this. He's hoping that he can keep it together as well. So where we last left off was she didn't want to hug him and she said that she didn't feel comfortable. My thing is, why sit down at the table and even go to New York and waste your time and energy if you don't feel comfortable with a person? To me, she brought a negative energy and is already setting a negative tone for how this day meeting with Tom is gonna go. She begins to make small talk and is very short, a little bit snappy in her responses, and you can tell that he's trying to figure her out and figure out a way to come at her without it leading to a possible argument. Darcy gets emotional. We knew this was going to happen. We just didn't know how soon, but it doesn't take long before she gets very emotional talking about the birthday text Tom sent her. It hurt her because she was expecting for him to FaceTime her or to call, that he promised that he would call. And Tom then says to her, "What happened to us?" adding his intention was never to hurt her. He then goes on to say Darcy has things that she wants out of the relationship, and so does he, but she's never there for him. And somehow during their conversations, things become all about Darcy. So Darcy doesn't receive this well, and she's cutting him off, not allowing him to express. And Tom says she never allows him to talk. Darcy flips it and says that she thinks that Tom is trying to cover up something, and isn't there something that he wants to tell her? To me, that's all she cares about. She cares about getting to the bottom of, or wanting him to explain, this other woman that she saw him in the photo with. So she wants to basically bypass talking about where their relationship went wrong and talk about the woman she said was her lookalike. So my thing is, we did see where he said he couldn't do the long distance thing and he broke things off with her. We seen that. So why is she still feeling like they're in a relationship when we last saw that he did break things off with her? He said he couldn't do the long distance thing. So whatever he does after he broke things off, he has a right to. So if he was talking to another woman, hanging out with her, they were enjoying each other's company, he has a right to do that because he broke things off with Darcy. I don't know. Comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Let's move on to Stephanie and Erika. So Stephanie and Erika go out, and Erika decides to take her to do personal molds. And this requires her to be topless. Well, both of them to be topless. Erika says that she picked this type of date because online, Stephanie presents herself as someone who would be interested in this type of activity. That's why you have to be very careful of how you present yourself online. Because then when people meet you in person, they're expecting to get the same thing. And if you're really not that way, but you're putting a facade on social media or online, then you can really put yourself in a lot of danger. So you have to be very careful how you represent yourself. So Erika felt like it would be fun, but Stephanie doesn't look comfortable at all. Stephanie tells the camera crew that she feels this is very strange, that this was a very strange idea, and she isn't sure what Erika is trying to communicate to her. Now, the reason why I'm not falling for this whole scene is because if you didn't know where you were going, why does she have a swimsuit on? Why does she have a swimsuit under? So I think she very much knew what they were going to be doing that day. But again, their storyline is not believable one bit. I'm not sold on it one bit. So Stephanie tells Erika that this wasn't something she expected they would be doing, a lie, adding it feels like it's too much and she's trying to make the best of the situation. She wishes that she would have presented it to her first to see if she would be okay with it. I'm not going to even say comment down below because their whole storyline is so boring to me. Let's move on to Yolanda. So Yolanda and her daughter go out to this coffee shop to get some work done for their online retail business. Yolanda still plans to go see Williams and needs to book the tickets, but still is waiting on him to tell her what airport to fly into. When Yolanda is recapping what has happened to her so far, it just seems scripted to me. It's like she's reading from a teleprompter, and she finally decides to fill her daughter in while they're at this coffee shop on what's been going on. Her daughter starts doing some research and says that Williams is from Nigeria. So they come across a number during their research and decide to call it. Her daughter truly believes that her mother is being catfished. Once they call this number, a woman answers and hangs up. Yolanda feels that she's in love with Williams and in her heart believes that the man she's been talking to for 7 months is who he says that he is. Comment down below and let me know your thoughts. That storyline, Stephanie and Erika and Yolanda storyline, fakety fake. Let's move on to Avery and Ash. So Avery says after experiencing the chemistry they have in person, she can definitely see a future with Ash. Avery goes on to say that she doesn't feel like Ash's brother accepted and embraced her last night. So it's something that she can't get out of her head, but says that she's going to try and leave that behind her because Ash planned a 3-day getaway for them on the other side of Australia. Ash describes this place that he's taking her as a tropical wild place and says that he always recommends to his clients that couples need to have a break from their everyday life to learn each other. 2 hours later, they arrive and Ash has this picnic basket for them to sit on the beach. Avery says that her love for Ash is constantly growing, but there's a lot of factors that are playing against them. There were some things that his brother said at the dinner that drew some concern for Avery that she plans to get off of her chest. So Ash tries to say that he feels his brother is very supportive of what they're doing, and Avery responds, "I feel like you're coming at me with a very rehearsed way of saying things." She adds that he's great at always wanting to be so positive in every situation, but that's not real life. Ash tells her that he fears if he opens up to her about certain situations, she may walk away from the relationship. Avery is hoping to meet Ash's son's mother. She feels that this is the only way that she's going to truly get the truth. So I really need to hear your thoughts on 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. Again, this was the early premiere part 1 of season 4, episode 7. The title of this episode is Who's Crying Now? Comment down below and let me know your thoughts on this early premiere. Give this video a big thumbs up and share it with a friend who also loves watching 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be notified on the next time that I make an upload. And if you haven't already, see if you've by chance missed any of my previous uploads and catch up on those. Show those videos some love, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.